Okay, making this again because I just want to make sure that you can hear me without me yelling and whatever, so I put the microphone on. So let's get right into it, and let's start from the beginning. So the DNA headers in the Y, these are copies of JBA long tubes. They're on. Everything's good to go. And let's get right into the installation. You know, that's kind of what everyone is curious about. How did the installation go? I took Thursday and Friday off of work to do this, so I had 4 days in a row in case I ran into any issues. I have to have a high flow cat for my state inspections, and I bought 2 O2 extensions because the JBA has 2 O2 sensor extension cables. I also bought 3 3-inch band clamps. So the first day I spent 6 hours. We took off the manifolds and the factory Y, and there's 4 bolts that connect the factory Y to the manifold. We were taking them out, and they just didn't want to seem to completely, get loose enough to come off the manifold. So after about 3 hours of fucking around with it, we just decided to take the manifolds off, and where the Y comes together to form a single pipe that then meets the muffler, we just cut that bitch, and we took it all off in one shot. That was night 1. The second day we spent, 2.5, maybe 3 hours bolting the long tubes themselves up to the heads. And what we ended up doing was we ended up just taking the fucking dipstick completely out. We took it fucking off. We got everything bolted up and snugged up. That was the second night. I didn't have to bend any of my tubes or nothing. We got everything to fit up in there. It took some wiggling, took a little bit of prying, but we got it up there. So let's listen to these real quick. I don't know if you could hear that, but this thing is so fucking loud. I mean, it's ungodly loud. But anyway, let's get back to the installation. So the third day, we spent the third day putting the Y together and meeting the Y with that main pipe that hits to the muffler, and getting the catalytic converter, all that squared away. That went relatively easy, but the last day of this was like 4 or 5 hours. And that was because we got the Y together, and we had to, fit the catalytic to the Y, and then fab that to meet the muffler. And so a lot of that time was just fitting. We had to use like a hacksaw, cut some shit, band clamp some shit. It was odds and ends. And then we also spent probably a half hour or so We bent the dipstick to go in between one of the tubes, and we got that all straightened out. That was a lot of, just fiddle fucking around. And then we started it up, let it probably idle there for about 15-20 minutes. At that time, the header wrap was smoking, and I'm going to say burning, but smoking and getting hot, and that's all normal. And checked the bolts, and then we got the fuck out of there. I had to go back to my buddy's house the next day to clean up, because we were so fucking tired and froze. Hard to work when it's 30 to 40 degrees out, That was really the big killer of this whole project. It was just so fucking cold, and you're not fucking moving like you normally would, It was a real bitch, I'm not gonna lie. The headers went on fine. Everything went on fine. It for the most part fell into place. Now, I've got one O2 sensor extension I did not put in, because instead of 2 extensions, you're actually going to need 3. But I was going by the JBA, what comes with the JBA, so I just bought 2. But in actuality, you're going to need 3. I'm going to need 3 anyway. The Y-pipe went around the 8-speed transmission just fine. I know a lot of people are going to ask about that. It all went good. I mean, everything. If I had a heated garage and a car lift, this job would take 1 day. And like air tools, impacts and whatever. But we didn't. We were at the mercy of what we had. What my buddy's garage has. And so crawling around on the concrete, all that type of shit.